Hello and welcome to my first ever podcast. My name's Luca and I'm 18 years old. I study in Amsterdam right now. I'm studying international business and I thought podcasting would be a really cool way to express myself and just see where this goes really. I don't really have any expectations for it other than to have fun, maybe have some friends on, talk about stuff. I'm not really sure. I don't know where I want this to go, but I really enjoy listening to podcasts and I feel like this will be a great way to at least get started, even if I'm just doing these on my own. But I want to try and do these at least weekly. Maybe I can try and get more than one out a week, but because I don't have any classes on Friday, I feel like Friday would be a great day for me to do something with my time, and I feel like a podcast would really be the best thing for me. Since I'm alone today, I think I'm really just going to make this a podcast for myself. I don't really know what value this gives to anyone else, but I kind of just want to talk about my goals for 2019 now. I know we're a fourth of the way through 2019, we're in mid March, but I wrote these goals down in the very beginning of 2019. I kind of just want to go over them so I have it somewhere online where I can always go back and maybe at the end of 2019 go through and see what goals I did accomplish, which ones I didn't, but maybe just to keep a record of it. So, my first goal for 2019 is graduate from my first year of uni. So I failed one test that I had to resit, and I still don't have that grade back. I should be getting that back on Monday, so in 4 days, but or 3 days, sorry. But that is my first and biggest goal that I want to achieve is graduate my first year of uni. I really want to complete that. I feel like with that, I'll just be set with a routine. I'll be set with something that I really am focused on. I really do love my course of international business. It's everything that I could really expect from uni. Um, I go to an applied science school, so instead of having set semesters, I kind of just have 8 weeks at a time where I have courses. And then after those 8 weeks, I switch and I have new courses because I'm not really sure what I want to study yet when it comes to international business or business in general. So I feel like this is a really good starting platform because in the end, I get to try 16 different courses in my first year, and right now I've gone through a couple such as finances or accounting. I've gone through a management course. I'm going through an entrepreneur course right now, and it's just opening my eyes to how many possibilities there are in the business world. I never really realized how broad the world of business is. I always just thought it was kind of you're a manager and that's it, but I never realized there's so many different things that you can do within it, and I feel like this course is really opening my eyes and allowing me to see what I may truly enjoy. I mean, I'm not sure if I found it yet, but I feel like this course definitely is a great way for me to at least try and find it. So, my second goal is not to fail any tests in 2019. So the one test that I did fail that was in 2018, but I wasn't able to resit it until recently in February. But that is my goal right now is not to fail another test for all of 2019. So that obviously also counts my sophomore year. Um, I feel like this is really important because every 8 weeks I switch courses. If I do fail a test, I have to resit that test during a different set of courses, which I find kind of difficult because for this one test that I did have to resit, I was preparing for 4 other classes and then trying to relearn stuff that I learned 2 months before. So I feel like that is that is really one of my most important goals next to graduating, but not failing another test because I know what I have to do not to fail another test. I know all it comes down to is work ethic and studying. But yeah, the one test that I did fail, it was just a mistake on my part. I kind of panicked in the exam. I got a little nervous. I wasn't fully prepared. But I know exactly that I can pass every exam that I go into if I do the correct preparation. that's just the next step. I just really have to be ready to prepare for these exams and really be ready to set aside the time and really just focus, just be able to sit down and focus on the task at hand. So, my next big goal of 2019, my third goal is my stock portfolio. I'm really, really enjoying stocks right now. My dad introduced me to it um, nearly 10 years ago. I'm 19, or about to turn 19, so 8 years ago. Um, and I've been reading some books about it. I've been figuring it out, and I realized that that is one of my passions when it comes to the business world. Being able to invest in a company, buy stocks, and just really starting out early when it comes to investing and amassing a fortune or a wealth. I just feel like that's the key to it, is starting early. At 18 years old, I mean, I'll be investing hopefully for the next 70 to 80 years of my life. That's my goal, at least. I don't think that's something that's ever going to stop. I'm going to try and invest every month. I've been trying to put some money into my investment account, and my goal right now is to reach an investment portfolio of $10,000. I'm not going to say what I'm at right now, but I am slowly making my way there, and I'm very proud of myself for that. I feel like, yeah, no matter what job I have, no matter what my other hobbies are, I understand the importance of investing and the importance of making smart investments. Now, when I say smart investments, I don't mean trying to time the market, try to invest in a stock when the stock's really low and sell it when it's really high. I'm more focused on index funds. I'm investing in Berkshire B Hathaway, um, Vinix, VSTA, VSTAX, which is another Vanguard stock, and these are all index funds. And I feel like those are the most stable, the least volatile. They just make the most sense in my mind when it comes to investing. I'm also invested in Alibaba from a while back. I don't know, I invested in that, and I feel like there could be some growth in that, or I know there could be some growth in that because of the Asian market. It's always expanding. And that's just one where I'm kind of just dabbling in to see. I'm not going to buy anymore, but I'm not planning on selling anytime soon. I just kind of want to see what happens with that ride. And my last stock that I'm invested in is IIPR, which is a marijuana facility licensing company. So they license out all the facilities that people use for grow houses and cultivation and the whole process. And instead of being a Canadian based company, which is where most of the marijuana stock growth has been happening until the end of 2018 when it was fully legalized. This company is based in the United States, which is a market that has endless potential right now. I mean, I think it's less than half of the 50 states have um, even medical marijuana. I could be wrong on that, but I know definitely recreational is under half. And the more and more time that goes on, the more and more people will become aware of the benefits of marijuana and what can really be done with it, and it'll spread through the whole United States. And this IIPR is really the leader when it comes to facilities for these companies that want to make something out of the marijuana business. So my fourth goal for 2019, fourth and fifth, um, is related around fitness. The first one is I want to have my compound lifts in the gym be I call it 4-3-2 lift. So 4 plates on deadlift, 3 plates on squats, and 2 plates on bench. I've hit the 3 plate on squat before. I've never hit the 4 plates on deadlifts, and I've never gotten close to 2 plates on chest. But that is my goal right now. I want to be able to have either video proof, photo proof, or someone else there to confirm that I did do those lifts. That is, I've been going to the gym for 2 years now. I love it. Ever since I stopped playing football competitively, it's what I've really been pouring all my time into when it comes to anything fitness related. And tagging on from that goal is having a successful summer shred. So that's going on right now. I have about 3 more months of that, of just shredding. So, you know, decreasing your caloric intake, increasing cardio. Um, so right now I'm at 1,900 calories a day, which, to be honest, I really haven't found too challenging yet. I haven't found that I'm out of energy throughout the day, like I don't have enough. The only thing that I have is, if I don't go to bed at the right time, like start getting ready at 9:30, be in bed by 10, try and be asleep by 10:30. If I don't do that throughout the every day, I do kind of find it difficult to sometimes not eat, unnecessary fruits that really aren't they aren't doing anything for me. It'd just be much smarter if I didn't eat those fruits and just allow my body to try and get into ketosis overnight, so it could promote the fat burning. And I don't know. I just find that when I have my structured routine of going to bed at the right time, that really sets the tone for everything else I do. I'm way more productive. I'm eating correctly. I don't waste any time around the house, watching too much YouTube or playing video games or anything. As soon as I have my sleep schedule correct and good, I feel like everything else just falls into place. And yeah, successful summer shred, I feel like that's all based around sleep. Even if I don't do well in the gym, even if I'm having an off day, or I'm just not motivated that day, whatever it is, as long as I have a good sleeping pattern, I feel like my eating pattern is going to fall in line with that. And then from there, I mean, everything else just goes in as well. Working pattern, I have, work ethic, it just, everything falls into place. And I feel like that's when I'm most productive, is when I have my proper sleeping schedule. So after that, this one's kind of recent. I wasn't planning on doing this one for 2019, but the opportunity came up and I just decided to take it. So I don't know what goal that is, six maybe. Yeah, I think so. My sixth goal is to run a marathon this year. So my whole family is doing the mini marathon. My brother, my mom, and my dad are doing the mini marathon, and I decided it'd be fun to challenge myself and try and do the full marathon. I've never ran maybe more than 12K at a time. So 42K should be a really good challenge for me. I think that that'll be one of the hardest things that I will ever do in my teenage life, if that makes sense. I feel like once I'm a little older, once I have a little more time on my hands, I'm not, figuring everything out still. I feel like that's when I'll be able to push my body a little more. I'll be able to, I don't know, maybe try a triathlon, or maybe run another marathon, but this time actually do it for time, because right now I just really want to complete it. I know I can complete it, but it's just, I still want to do my best, but I'm not focused on the time. I'm not going to try and beat my time every time I go out to run. I'm really just doing this to do it. I just want to try it and see how it goes. That's really it. So my last goal for 2019 right now is to read one book per month. Right now I'm doing really good. I've done my January book and I've done my February book. I have them right here actually. The first book that I read is called Intercultural Communication by Mai Nguyen Phuong Mai, a Vietnamese woman. Obviously, I can't pronounce her name very well, but this was for one of my courses that I had to read it, but I only had to read about half. But once I got done with that half, I realized how interesting this book was, and really how important it is that people increase their cultural awareness. I did it for a course called CCA, Cross Cultural Awareness, self-explanatory. And this book really just talks about how different cultures interact with each other, and how you can become more open-minded, how you can become more aware of how these different cultures do different things. I mean, everything's different in every country, every culture. I mean, I grew up in Germany, and Germany is very strict on time, on deadlines, on being at a place at a certain time. If you have an appointment, you don't show up late. You really have to be there on time with everything you do. And now living in the Netherlands, it's a complete opposite switch, you know, like sometimes I'll get up in the morning at 7, 8, go to the train, and there's almost nobody outside. Like no one's on the streets yet. It's just it's a completely different culture here. It's everything is based more on the P time rather than M time. That's what it's called. Um, and yeah, just deadlines here are different. Obviously, for school and stuff like that, it's quite strict because you need to have that kind of structure in a school institution, obviously. But when it comes to meeting friends or going somewhere, or meeting someone for dinner or coffee, it's not unusual to be 5, 10, 15 minutes late. It really isn't. And I don't really know which style I like better, but I do know that it's a different style, and I'm really glad that I'm experiencing both of them. But sometimes I do get quite annoyed because I'm a punctual person, so sometimes I do get annoyed when someone shows up late. But it's just I find it almost unfair of me, or not my place to really try and enforce my culture while I'm in a different country that has completely different standards, has completely different ways of working. So really, it's just an adapting process for me. It's a great experience. That's really what it comes down to, because I know many Asian cultures are the exact same, where it's not so strict on deadline, and as well as some South American cultures. I'm sure more European countries as well are exactly like that, but I'm very glad that I'm really experiencing that. So the second book that I read is The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. This is the book that I read in February, obviously, and I can't say enough good things about this book. This book is so amazing. This is really what kicked me into taking investments very seriously. I was already putting money into investments every month, but this book really opened my eyes on how much money I can be saving throughout the month just by eliminating stupid spending, buying a sweatshirt that I don't need, or buying a pair of socks that I don't need, or some jeans that I don't need. It made me realize how many costs and expenses I can cut out of my life and have no impact on me at all. So right now I've been trying to make it my mission to invest 200 euros right when I get my monthly money, and then whatever money I have left over at the end, I also put that in, and I've been trying to do that. Um, I feel like it's going well. I already got my first 200 euros in, which is something that I've been doing anyway. But yeah, I feel like this book completely turned around the way I looked at investing. It talks about long-term investing, unlike what you see on the internet, or you know your 10 quick tips to becoming rich or make a buck, whatever the news article may be. I feel like this book really sets a foundation for anyone that's trying to get into investing or interested in investing. I feel like J.L. Collins does an amazing job of explaining a simple path to wealth. That's really what it is. It's just over time, continuously investing into the market, whether it's up, down, whatever it's doing. Because one thing's certain is, no matter what happens, the market is always going to stay around. There's never going to be a full market crash where the market is out of business, or every company goes out of business. And if that does happen, then money is most likely the least of our worries anyway. At that point, it's probably because of some disaster that's happening in the world, like, I don't know, a World War III, or some sort of super volcano, or an ice age. But if you really think about it, the stock market made it through the '09, '07, '09 housing market crisis. It went through multiple wars. It went through the Vietnam War, it went through World War II, it went through the Great Depression, and it'd be kind of silly to think that one political decision, one person being elected, or one industry doing bad would completely cripple the market. It may make it go down, but overall, there has never been a time where the market shuts down. The market will always continue to go up. There will always continue to be more companies, more investment, more money, and that's something that'll never stop. That'll continue to go for however long our form of business is around. And once the next form of business is around, I'm sure there will be a stock market for that as well. And J.L. Collins just does a really good job of explaining that. Just no matter what's happening in the market, don't sell your stocks. It'll always go back up. It'll never continuously go down. For my next books that I want to read, right now I'm reading Business Model Generation because of an entrepreneur course that I have right now where I have to create a company. So right now I'm reading this book to just give me a structure and some guidelines and what I can do to make my company as successful as possible and what I have to do. But after that, I am not really sure what book I want to read next. I have The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. That guy Benjamin Graham has gotten so much praise from lifelong investors like Warren Buffett and many others. I really want to try and read this book, but sometimes I just feel like it's kind of difficult for me because I'm not completely aware of everything that goes on in investing. I'm not completely aware of what goes on in running a company or what I need to be looking for. Obviously, I know the basics. You need to have a steady revenue stream. You need to be able to cover all your costs. I understand all of that. But the real technical stuff, and this book is quite long, and not that I can't read long books, but sometimes long books are just too long, if you know what I mean. Sometimes I need to just get something new into my head. So I found that, the 150 to 350 page books, those are really the sweet spot for me. And I can tell you right now, this book is much more than that. This book is running up to, where does the appendix start? 530 is where I'm at right now in chapter 20. So this book is quite long, but this is one that I want to finish. I'm just not sure when I'll have the time or the patience to really go through everything and take all the value that's in this book out. But that's the great thing about having books. I'm never going to sell these books. I'm always going to keep them, so I can always go back and look and see what was said if I forgot something, or if something comes up and I'm like, oh, I know it's in this book, I just need to find it and I can read about it again. So yeah, I think that's going to conclude my first podcast. If you guys have any book recommendations, that'd be great if you could put those in the comments, whatever. Yeah. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week again. I think I'm going to try and do it maybe with a friend. Maybe I'll just do another solo one. I'm not really quite sure how I want to do this yet. But yeah, thank you guys for listening.